There are many buildings in the Rio Grande Valley that house history. For some, the history has faded, but only a dark myth remains. In San Juan, there is a hotel that is said to be the gathering place of spirits.
One of the legends behind this place is that you can still hear the screams of the woman as she was being attacked. And if you pay close attention, and you look at one of the windows, you might even see her face.
In reality, the hotel has a deeper historical significance.
It was also very important in the development of the South Texas area because it was a place they could stay when they visited South Texas on the land excursion parties.
So where do these myths come from?
I would imagine the stories about anything being haunted would be because it's been here a long, long time. I know the San Juan Hotel has fallen into disrepair several times during its lifetime since it was built. And I think when something falls into disrepair or somebody's not sure of the history behind it, sometimes the stories about hauntings do emerge.
In Edinburg stands a museum that was once the old Hidalgo County Jail, back when hangings were quite common.
The jail was built in 1910 when the county seat was moved from Hidalgo, the town of Hidalgo, to what was then called Chapin. And they moved it in 1908.
Only one execution occurred here.
He and a partner were accused of murder and rape. And the partner got away, got over into Mexico, and he wasn't caught, Abram was. And he wasn't the only death here, too, during that period when it was a jail. He was the only execution. There was a gentleman who committed suicide and by hanging, and we believe that there was another death that was not, it wasn't something happened by law. But we haven't really pinned it down to exactly. We know about the suicide because we have the death certificate.
A new jail was built in 1922 when the old jail became a community center and firehouse. Even firefighters can get scared sometimes.
They had some stories about hearing some noises in the night, and nobody ever, that I know, ever saw a ghost, actually saw a ghost, but there were noises, and it's an old building, and it's 100 years old.
We go now to a chapel on a little hill in Mission, responsible for the city's namesake. The lands for La Lomita Mission came from the 1767 Spanish grant of Joseph A. Cantu.
Reynosa merchant named Rene Guillard bought the land down there in that area where the mission is now, where the chapel is now, and built a small chapel for the use of his employees when the fathers came to give services.
The original chapel was built in 1865 at a campsite on the Brownsville-Roma Trail.
The land over there where the seminary building is, what's remaining of it after the fire, was owned by a man named Juan Davis Bradburn, who bought that land in 1842 and apparently died that year.
The land supported the priests and their charities. Many say the chapel and the close-by seminary are haunted, but instead of a priest or nun, it could have been a landowner or a strange finding that sparked the myth.
He is supposed to be buried there somewhere, and he may be wandering around. I have heard the story that he may still check things out occasionally. When they were doing the reconstruction of the building in 07 and 08, they found a large snake, rattlesnake I think, in the walls. Probably just living there because it was quiet and cool. But a lot of people are put off by snakes being present in a church.
Oh, yes.